Welcome back to the race control training videos. In the previous video we started a race, a training race, and the timer has been running and we can see that we're in the first minute of the race. We have an option at the moment to do a general recall. That's only available up to after the first minute of the race. So we'll just leave that until we pass the 1 minute mark, and you'll see that it then goes to shorten course. Now really we don't need to be in this screen now. We need to be now in either the lap counter screen to count the laps as boats come around the course, or we need to be in the competitor screen to add competitors to the race. Now, while we're waiting for the first boats to come round, I'm going to try adding a boat that I know is not in the race. So 320 doesn't pull any value up into the sailway file because that doesn't exist. So if it doesn't exist and you need to create it, under the 3 dots option here, if you select create new sailwave entry, it populates the sailwave field automatically. All you need to do is populate the class, helm and crew field if you require. So if you click on class and to start typing, it's going to be a solo. So it's a solo. So we click solo, long press on solo. Let's put in the class film. We'll leave putting in the helm and crew name for later when we edit the sailwave file. So we're just going to do create there. You can see that entry is created. I'm now going to put that in the competitors field by long pressing. If we enter a boat, let's put another one in. So 319. And the class doesn't exist. Okay. If I put yeah, and we do create, it will still create the entry with the text, but it will not pull the PY because it doesn't know about that PY in the sailwave file. But it will give it a value of 1,000, and we can sort that out later when we post the results. To come out of the create new entry, we just click on close, and we can add that miracle into the race. Okay, so if we now go back to the lap counter, I'm going to make this a short race, so each lap's going to be quite short. We're going to record some times against the competitors. So I can see the wayfarer is approaching the line, so I'm going to put the wayfarer into the watching window. Then the solos are next coming, and the wayfarer has now approached the line, so I'm going to swipe right to count the lap. So it's always swipe right to count a lap. Now you can do it in the watching window or the competitors window. So I do an example here. Even though the solo is in the watching window, I can still swipe right to count the lap for the solo. So it doesn't matter, but the watching windows there just to make it easy. If you've got a long list of competitors here, it's easier to move them up into the watching window. So put the miracle up there as well, and the vario. And in the watching window, you can adjust the position, so we can move the vario up. So again, you long press on the boat until it changes color, and then you move it up and down to move it to the position that you want it. And again, it's just to help you in terms of putting them in the order that they're approaching the line. So next is going to be the miracle, and then I'm going to do the vario. But now I realise I actually made a mistake. The solo, I should have done the solo. So I'm going to do the solo. I want to deduct the vario because he hasn't actually counted. Now I can either swipe left here, or I can filter it on the last counted. If there was more than 5 competitors, then this would just show the last 5, which makes it easier to to find the boats. Now if I swipe left against the Vario, I have an option of deleting that observed lap. So if I delete the lap, it goes back to 0. I can now swipe right when at the correct time when he crosses the line. So we keep doing that as each boat approaches the line. We put them into the watching window and we swipe right as they cross the line. The Miracle has now gone ahead of the Solo up, but the Solo is now ahead again. So it's just the order that you swipe right. It doesn't matter where they are in the screen when you swipe right. It's just to help you to put them into the order. The Miracle's done. The second Solo and the Vario. Now they're now on lap 3. This is going to be the last lap, so I've got the option up here of shortening the course. I'm going to shorten the course, confirm shorten course. Now if the horn was plugged in, that would actually sound the shorten course horn, so you'd have to time that for when the lead boat has just passed the last buoy, the last but one buoy. Now we've shortened the course. The lap count is showing 3 of 3, so we're on the last lap. As each boat is passed, has passed the line, we flag them. So now the Solo is leading, so we're going to do a Solo. The Wayfarer is next. Then the second Solo, then the Miracle, and then the Wayfarer, then the Vario. So now we've completed all laps. So if I swipe again, all it would do is update the time. It won't actually change the lap count because it knows that was the last lap. If we go back to the timer, it will now show that we've done a shortened course, and it will be in a position ready for us to post the results. You don't have to have all boats don't have to have completed the course for you to post results, but if a boat hasn't completed the course, then that will be shown up as a do not finish. So if I now post the results, I click on post. We have to confirm it. Tells us the results are now published, and it's then loading the next race in the series. Now the competitor list will still be the same as for the prior race. It's only when you change the series in the race that it will clear the competitors field. So that's the end of this session.